Functions. A function is that one which relates an input to an output. Let's look at an example. Given that f of x is equal to x square minus 3x and g of x is equal to 4x minus 6, find the value of f of 6. That is, we need to substitute x as 6 in function f of x. So if we find 6 square minus 3 times 6, it's equal to 18. So f of 6 is 18. F of minus 3. So here we need to take the value of x as minus 3 and substitute in the function f of x, and we get 18. F of minus 3 is equal to 18. G of half. So here we need to take x equal to half and substitute the value of x in function g of x. So 4 times half minus 6. If we simplify, we get minus 4. To find g of 6, we need to take x as 6 and substitute in the function g of x. 4 times 6 minus 6 is equal to 18. Given h maps x to 9 minus x square, write down the expression for h of x. So here we need to write the given function in the form of h of x. H of x is equal to 9 minus x square. Find h of 0. We know that h of x is 9 minus x square. So taking x as 0 in h of x, we get 9 minus 0 square, which is 9. To find h of 3, we need to take x as 3 and substitute in h of x. So 9 minus 3 square is 0. H of 9. To find h of 9, we need to take x as 9 and substitute in h of x. 9 minus 9 square. We simplify, we get minus 72. H of minus 9, we need to take x as minus 9 and substitute in h of x. 9 minus of 9 whole square. If we simplify, we get minus 72. If f of x is equal to 3 plus 2x and f of x equal to 6, find x. So here the function f of x is equal to 3 plus 2x, and again it is given that f of x is equal to 6. So both are same. So we equate both of the expressions. 3 plus 2x is equal to 6, and subtract 3 on both sides and divide with 2. We get x as 1.5. Give the functions f of x equal to x square and g of x equal to x plus 2. The functions are given, f of x and g of x. We need to solve the equation f of x equal to g of x. So we need to equate both the functions. So we can write x square is equal to x plus 2, and then subtract x plus 2 on both sides. So you get x square minus x minus 2 equal to 0. We can factorize this and write in the form of x minus 2 times x plus 1 equal to 0. And from this we can find x. We get two values for x equal to 2 or x equal to minus 1. So given the functions f of x equal to x square and g of x is equal to x plus 2, we need to solve the equation 4 times g of x is equal to g of x minus 3. So in this case, 4 times g of x equal to g of x minus 3. So we know that g of x is x plus 2. So we substitute x plus 2 in the place of g of x. Before that, we subtract g of x on both sides. So we get 3 times g of x equal to minus 3. Now g of x equal to minus 1. We get this by dividing on both sides with 3. And now we can substitute value of g of x, which is x plus 2. And then we can find value of x as minus 3. Composite functions. A composite function is a function of a function. You get a composite function when you apply one function to a number and then apply another function to the result. Let's see an example to understand. Given the functions f of x equal to x square minus 2x and g of x is equal to 3 minus x, find the value of g of f of 4. Here two functions are given, f of x and g of x. We need to find the value of g of f of 4. So we can write this as g of, instead of f of 4, we can take 4 in place of x and put it in the function f of x. So 4 square minus 2x can be written as 16 minus 8. So g of 16 minus 8 is equal to g of 8. We know that g of x is 3 minus x. So replacing x with 8 in g of x, it can be written as 3 minus 8, which is equal to minus 5. We need to find f of g of 4. We can write this as f of, instead of g of 4, we write 3 minus 4, which is equal to f of minus 1. Now replace x with minus 1 in function f. We get 3. F of minus 1. To find this, we can write this one as f of, instead of f of minus 1, we write 1 plus 2 by replacing x with minus 1 in function f of x. So we get f of 3. Now we replace x with 3 in function f of x. We get 3. G of 100. You can write this as g of, instead of g of 100, we take x as 100 in function g of x. So we get 3 minus 100. So g of 3 minus 100 is equal to g of minus 97. Now we take x as minus 97 and put it in the equation, if we put it in the function g of x. So we get 100.